So right now I'd like to reintroduce Director Karen Skloss for about 10 minutes. We'll have a Q&A.
Again, thank you for coming. Well, first I just wanted to invite the people who are in the film, who are here, like my daughter, Jasmine, my parents, anyone who's, willing to come up here. If it's only the kids, that's okay. Jeremy's here too. Thank you all so much. And there's also some of the crew here. Lee, Daniel, who shot a lot of the film. Unfortunately, Heather Courtney isn't here. She shot a lot of the film. She used to come over for dinner and we'd have a glass of wine and shoot for a little while. And Jeremy shot some of the film too. And I'm trying to remember, Deb Lewis also shot some, and Megan Gilbride, associate producer, Al Cabanat, Heather Russo, Omar Godinez, our wonderful colorist, is here, and who else is here? I forgot to mention Diane Weinkoff at the last screening, who did all of the After Effects and titles and stuff work, and did a really great job. It's behind Thai Noodle House, if you live in Austin. Or, what?
It's on Sorority Row.
Sorority Row, yeah, right next to all the sororities. There's Mary Wood. At 26th Street and Guadalupe, where Little City used to be. I haven't been brave enough to try that one. He didn't leave a letter for me, so I just stuck with what I had. But maybe someday, although I wonder what he'll think about the fact that I made this movie. But.
I liked it. It was awesome.
Look at my great family here. This is so great. Oh, and Myra was one of the women at Barton Springs.
Pregnant women.
The pregnant women, but she's not pregnant anymore. They did. They didn't know at first. My mother had gone to the home, and unfortunately she can't be here because she's, it's a Monday. But she had gone to the home, and it's like her sister said, it was one of those things where they just felt like they couldn't even tell their parents. And it happened to be, there's this family tradition where on their 20th birthday, they would get this really nice piece of jewelry. And, her birthday's in August, my birthday's in October. And it was just like, is she gonna come home? When's she gonna come home? She wasn't coming home, she has to work. All these things, the excuses ran out. And finally she just broke down and called them. And they actually turned out to be really supportive and came down and saw her, but they decided to go ahead and follow through with the choice that she had made. They said that they told her, if you wanted to change your mind, that would be okay, which is something that's not really reflected in the film, but that's the truth. Is they were willing to support her. I think she just didn't feel like she wanted to be the pioneer, the trailblazer in her hometown in that way. I actually started this thinking I wanted to do something about the concepts behind it, and I really didn't want to do something super personal. I knew that I might have a personal element to it, and then the more that I worked on it, the more I realized that personal story was actually the strongest story that I had to tell. But that's sort of how other moms, like my friend Shanti, and her two beautiful daughters ended up in there. You may recognize Kai from the very beginning of the film. All the moms and stuff who are in the movie are my friends, and or at least good acquaintances. And so they were still ended up in the film, just not so much in the story. But I don't know. It was kind of a weird process to realize that I was going to make something personal. Well, for me, I realized there's someone that I keep forgetting to thank. I'll thank my family, but then I don't thank my boyfriend, who's the most amazing support in the entire world. And I mean, it's kind of a cool thing because I feel like we've been able to piece together this family, using all of the best things that we have, and it's kind of like people have something that they can bring to the table, and everyone's been really open, and that actually lets us kind of create a family by our own rules. And I think that that's kind of where we're headed, and a lot of people are starting to realize that, and that's something that's worth realizing, with all these different kinds of families that are popping up, and even like the older generation, the wise sages in Victoria, they're like realizing that this change is taking place, and even though it's something that they don't completely understand, it's not necessarily something that they should dismiss and rally against. That was one thing that surprised me about going there and talking to them. I don't know, not something personal. Hopefully something that's has a personal element, but nothing with me in it. And I don't know. I have a couple of ideas. I don't even know for sure if it'll be a documentary or a narrative, because there's a couple of them bouncing around in there. But maybe a break, because I finished this on Monday. Oh gosh, all different things. In the beginning, it was just home video and Super 8, and then the question was, what was your medium? And then we shot some Super 16, and we shot HD, and the online conform, the last process you go through with the film for this one was just a nightmare. So many different types of formats. Thank you all very much.